All right, we are live from the Rose Bowl. He is Jim Dunaway. I'm Ryan Brown. Emily Grace McWhorter here with us as well. She's getting her post-game comments and package ready, talking to some players in the Alabama locker room area. The Crimson Tide loses 27-20 to Michigan in the College Football Semifinals right here behind us in overtime.
It doesn't look real, Brown. It says Michigan Rose Bowl champions.
I know. That's their ninth Rose Bowl championship?
9 and 12 now.
9 and 12. I don't know that I would call it a great game. There was a lot of times it was kind of rough, but boy, it was a fantastic finish. Good second half, good fourth quarter. A lot of emotion on the line, a lot of emotional plays, and Michigan came up with more of them than Alabama did.
Yeah, they really did. And first off, Michigan was a lot more physical. I said this at halftime. Michigan was more physical than Alabama today.
Yeah.
And that's what everybody thought was going to happen, except for those of us that thought Alabama was going to win.
Right.
We thought they were physical against the also-rans and other Big Ten teams, right? But they were more physical than Alabama was tonight. Alabama made a ton of mistakes that cost them a lot of momentum plays, and yet there they were, 2013, and then your defense has to get one stop.
Yep.
And the defense can't do that. And if you just really go back to, other than the beatdown in Santa Clara that Clemson put on them that night, most of the playoff losses, in my mind, I go back to the defense just at some point letting you down. And,
Right.
And not that the offense played great tonight. This was, Milroe was not. I'll say it like this: this looked more like September Alabama than it looked like Alabama at the SEC championship.
Yeah. So let's address what everybody's already talking about in the chat room right there. The final play of the game. You've got 4th and goal from the 3.
Right here, this end of the field.
No, the far end of the field.
Oh, it was?
Yeah,
Okay.
it was the other end of the field.
It looked right here to me.
No,
Have
it
we
was the other end of the field.
changed sides?
Yeah, we have. So the far end of the field.
I
Behind
hate
us
losing.
there,
I hate losing.
4th down and 3. And you've got the season on the line, and you call basically a quarterback draw right up the middle. Not the most imaginative play call. It is so easy to say bad play call because it didn't work. I don't think it was a good play call. It was not very imaginative at all.
Do you think that was the play call, or because it was another crappy snap that he had to field at his ankles,
Yeah.
he decided, I'm going to run it?
Um,
I haven't seen Nick comment yet in the post game if that was the play call, so I apologize for that. That's happening 200 yards away over there, but it was a horrible snap. So even if that was the play call, you lose your momentum having to field the 67th snap this year.
Jay Price Saban says that was the play call.
Yeah.
I do not know.
That's a play call that is one option.
That's a play call that you call on 3rd and goal.
Yeah, that's a one option.
3rd and goal, I'm okay with that. 3rd and goal, you call it in hopes you've caught them in a thinking you're going to do something else. I just really thought so. There was Alabama lined up, timeout Michigan. Alabama lined up, timeout Alabama. So you knew the play was going next unless Alabama jumped off sides, which was a distinct possibility. I really thought at that point you roll Milroe out. You give him some options to throw or run, run it to the wide side. Give him some options to throw or run or whatever, but give him options. A quarterback draw, it's either there or it's not. I mean, there just really are no options. So that was my issue with the play call, is that you've got a very talented quarterback. He can throw and he can run. So give him the options of doing both those things.
Roll.
That's right. Yeah. Or as Blake says, at least, boy, these are moving quick. At least run a power quarterback sweep rather than just the quarterback draw.
Give him the opportunity to cut back.
Yeah.
At any point he wants going down there. Didn't like that play call at all. If that was the play call, indeed. I'm down here on the field when it happens. You guys tell me what the TV was saying about the muffed punt.
Oh, I was right in front of me. I was standing right over there on the goal line. Yeah.
I thought by the time he gained control of it, I thought it was in the end zone. I thought it was a safety.
I did not think it was a safety. I thought he got enough of the ball out. Or no, he's got to get the entire ball out, right?
Right.
And I thought he did. They gave him forward progress there. I was a little surprised maybe it didn't go to review.
Yeah,
I thought it would at least go to review.
Give me a review, or I thought Nick would call timeout there, burn that last timeout.
Boy, what a terrible way to lose a game if that's the way you lost the game.
Yeah, walk-off safety.
Walk-off safety on a punt.
Would have been an instant classic.
Yeah, I mean, they did not handle the punt game very well at all. No. That almost beat Michigan. Punt early on that gave Alabama 7, or at least led to Alabama scoring 7 points. Yeah, so Kevin says on the one, definitely. Ethan said not close to a safety. I didn't think it was either.
No. You guys apparently not watching through crimson-colored glasses.
Yes.
It looked like he was in the middle of the A to me.
Yeah.
And it was at this end zone.
Yeah, it was. That was the end zone behind us. I was standing there. So, it was not a muff punt. It was not a safety. I don't think it was definitely a muff punt. But that would have been a terrible way to lose the game, and it did not. That was probably Michigan's biggest weakness was their punt return.
Yeah. I would
say their special teams at all because they missed that field goal after the Milroe fumble.
That was a good show, guys. Thank you. Appreciate you. Our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama, we appreciate them so much. We'll get all your comments in a second. They've got 16 locations, 35 urologists right there. Helps you everything from prostate care to kidney stones and everything in between. Health care, so important for us men as we get older. Urology Centers of Alabama.com. Also by our friends at Wayne's. Thank you to Wayne's. 50 great years, now into year number 51 with Wayne's. All your pest control, termite protection, even lawn care service, our friends at Wayne's. And then, of course, SouthernRubberTire.com. Southern Rubber Tire downtown. All working pretty good there. They've been with us all week long. Tell us about Southern Rubber.
Yeah, Southern Rubber Tire is right there off 6th Avenue North and I-65 entire car. Bryant and the guys can take care of you there at Southern Rubber Tire. Please tell them you heard it on the next round. SouthernRubberTire.com. That is SouthernRubberTire.com. Alabama was very fortunate. Okay.
What's Bobby saying?
Well, I don't know. You just hit the wrong one. Navy blue and maize 4th and 3 shirts coming to the store this week. Probably would not sell many of those. I think Bobby's a better businessman than that.
Probably not.
That's called a troll, is what that is called. A little trolley there.
Happy January football, Bobby.
Actually, those might sell very well now that I think about it. The Auburn fans can buy a lot of them. That game was
my whole supper club. They've got a chat that I happen to be in. Michigan flags are waving and such like that.
That game at halftime was 13-10, and it felt like I said to a couple of people,
I agree with you.
It's a 13-10 blowout at the half. I mean, that felt like Michigan had dominated that game in the first half. For it to only be 13-10 was pretty remarkable.
No, I agree 100% because Alabama had the one touchdown with Jace McClellan, who was playing injured.
Yeah,
and got the long run. 34 yards for the touchdown. And then after that, Alabama's offense, barely over 100 yards at that point in the first half.
Yeah, what they have, 125, 150, something like that in the first half? Yeah.
Zero momentum offensively. Yep. Then got the field goal going in, and as Brown said, you felt like 13-10, and you're lucky to be 13-10, and then you come out and you make another stupid-ass mistake running a kick out of the end zone and only getting to the 15-yard line.
Because here's what happens. So Law, who did this twice tonight, takes the kick out of the end zone, gets it to the 15. So now Tommy Rees has got 2 plays or a set of plays he likes coming out of the locker room, right? You've probably already told your offense about them. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to run this and this, okay? You got a couple of plays you like. Well, now I got to burn those plays just to get it to the 25, which is where I should have had it if you just called the fair catch to the end zone. So that was kind of a questionable decision, but didn't really cost Alabama. Alabama led this game in the fourth quarter, which is remarkable.
That's right. All the mistakes.
All
the procedures, all the bad snaps, and you're up 20-13, and you got to finish there. It's in your defense's hands and you got to finish.
Yeah.
And didn't the touchdown drive to tie it 2020, didn't they get to a 4th down?
Yeah, it was 4th and I think 5.
Yeah.
4th and 5, and Corum is all by himself coming out of the backfield. That was the play they knew they had when they needed it pretty much all night.
Not a good day of coverage for the linebacker for Alabama.
Corum's a pretty good player.
Oh, yeah.
I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Corum's a pretty good player. You got to know where he is.
He's fantastic.
Yeah.
But they ran receivers and tight ends through the linebackers all night long, and the linebackers did not cover well. And, I really don't think Terrion and Kool-Aid and all those guys had their best coverage night either on the edges. I felt like they ran a lot of routes, Michigan did. when Alabama's secondary is supposed to be a big advantage.
Yeah.
And the Michigan receivers didn't have any. They didn't have Marvin Harrison Jr.
Right,
and
right.
all those guys. And those guys were open a lot.
Yeah.
Tonight, and wide open.
The crossers were really, really bothering Alabama. I'll tell you where I thought Michigan lost the game, though. This is when I thought Michigan lost the game. Was when Jalen Milroe fumbled and they missed the field goal.
Yeah.
If you don't make Alabama pay for that, generally that's going to come back to bite you. And Alabama gets it back and methodically drives, burns a lot of clock, picks up first downs. Reichard, who's money all night, hits the field goal, and you're up 7. Now, Michigan, to their credit, drove it and then scored again at overtime. I thought they lost the game, though, when they didn't cash in on the Milroe fumble because you had such good field position,
right,
and you end up just missing the field goal. You have to make a team like Alabama pay on something like that.
Nick Saban, after the game, seemed to say, it was, if I remember the quote correctly, it's already out on our next round platform. Scott Forrester sending that out pretty quickly. As Saban was speaking at the media tent, it was about this was one of the more magical seasons for Alabama football. And then Nick said, I hate that I couldn't have done a better job to make it end better.
Well, I guess overruling the play on 4th and goal for the 3.
Yeah, and that was after multiple timeouts. They came back to that.
Yeah.
But I will ask you.
Well, that's true. You had 2 timeouts to come up with that play. That's what you came up with.
So I will ask you. I follow. You see the video next round live on Twitter, and I don't know where else it is. Taylor says it's everywhere. I walk off the field with Nick Saban.
Right.
I'm part of the team walking off the field, and just the dejection of the tunnel going all the way back to the locker room with the players and the coach. If I say Nick Saban's career ends like that or not?
No. Were you asking me, do I think that was Nick Saban's last game?
Yeah.
No, I do not.
Yeah.
I think he probably likes a lot of this team coming back now. They're going to Dallas Turner. A lot of people have not been able to confirm this personally, but a lot of people are saying all 3's reporting he's already declared for the draft. So you thought he would be gone. They're going to lose both those corners in all likelihood, McKinstry and Terrion Arnold. You'll lose a lot of players, but I think he likes bringing. Milroe wasn't great tonight. This was not Milroe's best night. Now, again, well, I'll separate this.
Milroe,
You're not here without him. I'll separate what I was about to say. I want to come back to something there.
But he was their only offense for the most part.
He was. The run. The run game was their only offense. I think Milroe only had, I don't have the stats in front of me, 116 pass yards or something like that, 115, 116 pass yards.
I'll see.
But you're bringing Milroe back. You're bringing back a lot on that team. So I think Nick Saban probably is pleased with what he's got coming back next year. So I do not think that was the last thing. Last time you'll see him out there. What I was going to say, and I said this on Twitter, and I'll say it again on the show tomorrow. I'll say it as long as I need to say it because I feel like I need to own this. I was wrong about Michigan's defense. I thought Michigan's defense, though it was very good, was probably not worthwhile of the number 1 rating they had kind of across the board based on their opponent, the level of their opponent in the competition. They didn't play a great schedule, and I just don't know how good some of those Big Ten teams they played were. That said, that's a good defense. Alabama could not block them for the first half. Couldn't block them.
Yeah.
It was just Jalen Milroe was running for his life every single pass play. That was a very good defense. I could not have been more wrong about the Michigan defense.
5 sacks in the first half, if I counted right. And I saw someone ask, did they tear down the goalpost?
No.
These are the ones they pulled for to keep people from tearing down the goalpost. So I don't think I've ever been to
I'll stand back. You could see the drop and raise. That black thing is what drops it and raises it. So I didn't know they did that at the Rose Bowl. So I don't think I've ever seen anybody rush the field at the Rose Bowl.
In 110 years, I don't think I've ever seen anybody rush the field.
You know when they don't have to use that is UCLA games. I don't think they ever use that collapse feature at UCLA games.
They don't have enough people here to tear it down.
Yeah. Steven says, impressive for Michigan to beat all the distractions throughout the year. And now he does throw a joke in there. They got some stallions and they ride. He's right, though. This is a team that faced a lot of distractions. Their coach was not coaching for 6 games. I'm thinking about that now. They're about to play a national championship, but their head coach missed 6 games at various times of the year, not like 6 straight. There were times where he was back and then he disappeared again, Even still, they're about to play for a national championship against Washington or Texas. They did overcome a lot of distractions. That's a good football team, man. That is a really good football team. I was impressed with Michigan. I thought maybe a touch overrated. I was incorrect about that.
Yeah, I would say that No, it was a well-coached team. What really was amazing about Jim Harbaugh this year, he missed 6 games. I don't know if he did that without pay, but he's now made $2.5 million in bonuses.
Yeah.
For a year where he had 6 weekends off.
That's true.
Yeah. I mean, he's made $2.5 million in bonuses, $500,000 for winning the Big Ten championship, or making the Big Ten championship, or beating Ohio State. What it was. $500,000 for beating Ohio State, $1 million for winning the Big Ten championship, and $1 million now for winning his first playoff game.
And the Michigan fans love him. Being around the Michigan fans this weekend, Jim, I think you sense how much they are galvanized behind Jim Harbaugh. He's one of theirs. And if you thought, some of this might be a quote-unquote embarrassment to Michigan and pulled some of their fans away, I did not sense that at all this week. This is a fan base that absolutely loves them some Jim Harbaugh. Matthew says, who did LT take? His free lock today, I think, was Washington. I know he had Washington, Wisconsin, and Michigan. Yeah. So I believe he is 2-0 right now. Am I right about that? I don't have the finals right here, but I think he's 2-0 on that. But he certainly got the Michigan game, and he's got Washington right now, which was actually the pick he has liked. We get the behind the scenes with Lance. Like, you guys get to see the result of his locks, but we get the discussion in the commercial breaks about how he's like mentally moving through it. And Washington is the team he has liked from the jump in this postseason. He started liking Michigan and really grew to like Michigan, but Washington is the one he was on from the jump.
Yeah, it played out pretty much like he thought it would. Didn't he? What was the score? He said 24-20, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 27-20, so pretty darn close to that.
Yeah.
Any more comments over here?
Bryce, breaking news: Bill O'Brien was right. I think you're probably going to get a lot of that as to me, a poor opinion there.
You're not here without him. I'll just say that.
That was the best defense in the nation statistically he was facing, and it is, that is going to be a quarterback that next year is going to be right in the middle of the Heisman hunt. So, don't believe that is correct.
I mean, I don't know about that.
Yep.
I mean, he had really good moments this year, but he had some bad moments this year.
You don't know about what?
If he'll be right in the middle of the Heisman
hunt
when it's all said and done.
I mean, he's probably when it's all said and done. I don't know.
It'll be a Heisman conversation.
Yeah. No, he's going to start the season as one of the stuff too. There's old Marty Smith.
I saw sweetheart already.
You've done a fantastic job with it. Enjoyed watching.
Man, we did so much TV today. I've run out of voice.
Yeah.
That happens.
You know what? I learned how to say. I had it. Nico's last name.
Oh.
Yamaleva? I just said it like 30 times.
See you, Marty.
See you, buddy. Love you, boys.
Love you, buddy.
Too.
There's old Marty Smith from the SEC Network talking about Nico.
I was getting nervous here if he went off the record story. I was going to be like,
no, Marty, we're live. We're live, Marty.
What are we going to do?
We're live, yeah. The old Marty party. Everybody happy to see Marty. Here you go. Shaslin, I believe it is. Need a new center. Milroe played hesitant, scared all game. I would 100% agree with that. Play calling, vanilla, predictable. I think Michigan dictated some of that play calling. I don't know that I would put that all on Reese. I mean, obviously, you've got to find your way out of that. It was probably a little predictable, a little vanilla. But I do think Milroe played a little hesitant.
Michigan was more aggressive with their play call. They had some flea flicker plays.
Yeah.
One of the bigger plays in the game, right, was the toss to McCarthy, who I think, if I saw it correctly, caught it one-handed and then never put the other hand on it and threw it down.
Oh, you're talking about that.
The throw over and then the throw down field.
Yeah, it was a heck of a throw, too.
He got planted.
Yeah.
At least it looked like he got planted. Then when you saw him replay, there wasn't much contact to it at all.
Right.
Yeah. McCarthy's a really solid quarterback and a better actor.
Yeah. A better actor.
Yeah,
you think he was acting a little bit on that? You don't think Burnip was acting a little bit when he got hit on the line?
Of course he was.
He was selling that.
That's what kickers do, man.
Yeah.
That's what kickers do. I was like, I had lit a candle for Burnip, and then he was punting the next time.
I know, he was right back out there.
This was for Burnip.
Yeah.
Not on my watch.
Boy, these things are moving so fast. Daryl says he felt like they got conservative when they got to the 30 and settled for the field goal to go up 7. I think they felt like, obviously you've got to protect the field goal.
Well, they
right?
passed on third down, so they weren't conservative.
Yeah.
All they did was say, hey, come kick a another 50-plus yard field goal.
And you've got to protect that field goal, and you're actually fortunate to be in that situation. If Michigan doesn't screw up the extra point, another bad special teams play. I mean, their special teams are not good. If they don't screw up the extra point there, you're not in a situation where the field goal even puts you up 7. Exactly. So you had been fortunate to be in that situation.
And I'll say this, hats off to Jim Harbaugh, because I felt like when they scored to make it 2019, I thought he was going to go for 2.
I did too.
Because 3 yards for that run game.
The way they've gashed Alabama at times with Corum,
and
the way they were throwing to Corum out of the backfield, and you trust McCarthy.
Or to any of their 8 tight ends.
Yeah.
So I thought it was a pretty good opportunity there.
Some of the McCarthy is out on the field. Can you see him right there? Here, I'll move the camera.
Like Farms right here.
Yeah, here comes. Here comes J.J. McCarthy. You see him right there, back out on the field.
If I can get out of the way.
Yeah. There's E.G. Move, E.G.
I'm sorry. I got to run and get the 2.
Yeah. So J.J. McCarthy.
Those guys.
Yeah.
They haven't won a playoff.
Yep. Well, there goes Blake Corum. And so some of the Michigan players back out celebrating there, as they should.
Michigan local media giving a couple of players.
Yep.
I miss it when Alabama won and we just got players run out on the field.
Well, I don't know. Obviously, we do not know who's going to win the Texas and Washington game right now.
Because this is live.
Because this is live.
The Rose Bowl.
I've got a. Well, I tell you what. The more I think about it, the more I think Washington would be tough for Michigan to deal with.
Can I tell you what I have?
You've got. I don't know why you've got this.
I've got it for Mr. Corn.
Oh yeah. We've got a friend. You got some confetti.
Confetti for Mr. Corn, and I got a program for Mr. Corn.
What about Taylor's dad?
Yep.
They're from Michigan originally, and he is a Michigan grad and fan, right?
Yep. So, Mr. Corn, if you're watching this, and I hope you are, we got a program coming your way and a little confetti from the Rose Bowl field. Just to show you that I'm.
Yep. J.A. says Bama's Achilles heel all season, pre-snap penalties and not a consistent pass game. Yep.
A lot of that today.
You know, they didn't have a penalty, though, I think until the 2-minute mark of the second quarter.
Really?
I think that was Alabama's first penalty of the game, if I'm not mistaken.
A few offside jumps.
Yeah. So it wasn't all that bad tonight, but it has been their Achilles. The snap has really been their Achilles. It showed up again tonight. I don't think it showed up against Georgia. I can't remember a really bad snap against Georgia. Obviously, you had one in the Iron Bowl that set up 4th and 31.
Yeah, but I count. I don't know how you guys are. I count anytime you have to field it over here or over here or at your ankles. I count every one. They don't have to be fumbles.
That's
right. Bad snaps.
Well, after Milroe ran in overtime, so he runs for the first down. The first and goal play, the snap, is right here and is an absolute bullet. He's having, to his defense, is Milroe a perfect player? No, but to his defense, a lot of times that snap is all over the place. Yeah. And that just gets you. Yeah, it's just one more thing he's got to worry about.
Yeah, you can't even catch a shotgun snap. When it's good and consistent, you don't really have to look at it,
right?
Because it's there every time, and you could do it so many times. But this year, he's always had to catch it and take his eyes off where his eyes need to be.
Yeah,
all year long.
Well, and I've told this story before on the air, but the great offensive coordinator Homer Smith, who coached in this stadium for UCLA and was at Alabama a couple times, never liked his quarterbacks being under center because he felt like the most informative part of the play for the quarterback is the second after the ball snap because the defense immediately declares itself.
Right.
He didn't like a quarterback in the shotgun because he's got to watch the ball in, gets the ball, and then sees the defense, and he misses everybody's first step, everybody's first move, everybody's first reaction. So now,
opposed to being under center,
that's right. Where I get the snap and I immediately see it. Right.
Looking, yeah.
So now, if you're Milroe, it's that times 10 because not only am I not getting the snap right here, I'm getting the snap right here. So now I come back and I've missed, or on the ground, and now I've come back and I've missed so much. So that's hard for him to deal with. He's got to deal with it. He's the quarterback. It's what it's what you're supposed to do. But that has got to be hard for him to deal with. Very impressed with Michigan, though. I got to say it again. Their defense, absolutely legit. They won the game at the line of scrimmage. I thought Alabama made excellent second half adjustments, but I'm very impressed with Michigan, man. I did not expect that team to look like that tonight.
Yeah, good win for Michigan. Congratulations to all the Michigan fans. And thank you to all our wonderful sponsors, UCA, friends at Wayne's, our friends at Southern Rubber Tire downtown for all your car needs, not just tire. It's been a great football season. We've had a lot of fun, memorable moments. We got some Alabama post-game already going out. The Forester is sending you Coach Saban and some of the players from the podium, including Jalen Milroe. Meanwhile, Emily Grace is going to send out some other players, including our conversations with Terrion Arnold and Tyler Booker, and her thoughts on the game. That'll be going on our platform a little bit later on. And we're going to go get a beer and watch.
Lance already has us a spot at a local eatery, so we can watch the second half of Texas and Washington. I'm looking forward to that.
Good too.
Yes, I need something to eat. So Lance is holding us a spot down there.
And you know what sucks as well?
What?
When you're this far away from home and it's a loss, traveling home just is different. It's just different.
Well, we are live tomorrow, 9 to noon. So we'll be right back where we always are, 9 to noon tomorrow. And we will be in Vegas on Wednesday, 9 to noon, and we'll be back in Birmingham Thursday. So I do look forward to that.
Not in Houston. We will not be in Houston on Thursday.
Yeah, yep.
I've been trying to get him. So let's go to Houston, man. Cover maybe Texas, the new SEC team. But nobody wants to go. Anybody more interesting comments here?
They are moving quite fast.
I hate football season when it ends.
Yeah, well, it's not over just yet. We still got some games left.
We're going to have, we don't, though.
A game and a half. Yeah. I mean, I'll watch it.
I'll watch it, but we won't be doing this.
Yeah, we will not. You're right.
I mean, you never know. We may never be at the Rose Bowl.
That's true. Yep.
Soak it in.
Yep.
One time.
I enjoyed it.
Soak it in.
All right, there you go. Soaked in. All right, guys, thanks for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock. Give this thing a thumbs up right here. Share it. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. We greatly appreciate you doing that.
I hate leaving right now.
Well, they're going to go watch Texas, Washington.
Okay.
And if you miss us, we'll be right back at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning.
We love you guys.
Love you. Thank you. Bye-bye. Have a great night.